Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of StarMade. You're here again with Surge, and I'm just gonna do a little video update on the server that I'm playing on. So I've just loaded in this station. Nothing really all that new, as you guys have probably seen this before on my other channels, my other episodes on this channel. But I've just done a small update to make it a little bit more valid for the purpose of, using it. What I've done is I've replaced a few things and I've added some other things. The biggest change I've done visually will be as I've changed the turret. I've replaced it with the self-powered missile turret that I've used on my other bigger station for two reasons. I think it looks a little nicer to have a sleeker kind of like rod of a station. And they're a little bit more effective since they don't drain the power from the station when they're firing, since they are self-sustained. The other benefit is the fact that they're a little bit more deadly than the old turrets as well, especially against fighters. But yeah, so I've done a little bit more. I've changed the overall shields to almost exactly 8 million, which is very important. And I thought I'd just do a quick video just as almost like a tutorial, because when I inevitably do upload this to the dock, I want to throw this video up there with it so that you guys can see how easy it is to actually set up the elevator and just use its typical functions. So as you can see, I've docked my Atlas Valkyr to the side, and as you can see, this is sort of what this dock is for. You can use it for bigger ships, of course, but it's like a point docker, especially if you're someone who docks with a sort of like a tether rather than an actual dock or like a USD or anything similar. So you'll also see I've added this public access landing platform. As you can see, you can just sit yourself down and it has a pickup rail now. The hall here is still public access. In fact, all of this is public access. So any Tom, Dick, or Harry could just fly by here and decide, oh, I'm going to go for a bit of a chill in this here space station, which is totally okay. You go up this elevator, which is also public access now, and they do have access now to the bedroom. So if you want to just come along, chill out, and you need a place to dock your ship before you go to bed on a night, then you can come along to my depot and do so. I might have to change the lights so that they can be turned off just for that little bit of extra roleplay, but Shine has said that they will make the light bars eventually able to turn off and on with logic, so hopefully we get something there. So yeah, I've also added a door here that will obviously not be public access, since down this little path here and around the corner is the and we just turn that on real quick. Let me just go and turn my HUD off real quick. Okay, so around here you've got your gate control, your gate lock, the build block, and the faction module, the shot module, the warp gate module, all the cargo, everything that you need for the station to run on its own. But obviously you don't want people just wandering around down here, because this isn't public area. This is for the faction. So around the corner here you have still this hallway, which allows you to connect up to bigger vessels. You do not have to make this catwalk specific for your ship, but it's just a nice little idea, and I have it fitted so that it fits on both my dredge and my sledge, because that's how their doors open. So back around here, and you'll notice that this little maintenance door is gone, because on the other side now I can't get all the way up since I added a bunch more shields. Still a lot of empty space in this, but that's sort of on purpose. Sort of for the whole point of making the game a little bit more enjoyable, I've added in the I haven't just chock-a-blocked this full of shields, because I left it at exactly 8 million. If you get one of these stations yourself, you're welcome to add more if you like, but it's just interesting because it sort of invites competition or conflict. It's not necessarily what you want. You don't necessarily want your base destroyed, but that just makes the game a little bit more interesting when you've got other players on the game willing to attack you, similar. So and if you've got something with hundreds and hundreds of millions of shields, it's just not as tempting, because you may not have the ship capable of doing it, or if you do, it's just not interesting because your ship is just too powerful anyway. But if you've got a smaller vessel that can do a couple of million damage a second, then it's a little bit more tempting to take out this. Not that I'd want you to, especially not on the server, but it is a little bit of a temptation. Maybe sport some kind of war or conflict between some of the factions on the server. So there's lots of empty room, like you can see, and none of that has changed. One thing that has changed, though, is if you remember from my previous video, I had all the logic for the elevator kind of down here and up and away, and that was really difficult to get to every time I spawn one of these in, and I spawn a lot of these in. If you have a look in my inventory here, I've got 6 more of these ready to go. These are all absolutely ready to go, ready to spawn at any point, and I need 2 of them per access point, so 1 to get there and 1 to get back. So I'm going to start finding locations for these shortly. I've got one here that I've spawned that I'm going to set up so they can get to one of our other depots. I might have to use another couple of these for another couple of our depots, but the idea is I'm going to start reaching out to people and start letting them have access to our networks. Yeah, so let's just show you something. What I want to do quickly, before I get out of build mode, I just want to show off one more thing. I did remove the arena that was in the top here because honestly we're probably not going to use it very much. If you do want to use the arena still, there is still a version of that I will probably upload eventually. I'm probably going to wait until the server reset, whenever that is, before I upload a lot of this stuff. Or I may not, I don't know yet. So I'll talk to the faction, the rest of the guys in the faction about that, whether they want me to do this, since I'm sort of mass producing these. I think I got nearly 15 of these on the server at the moment. I'm aiming for more, obviously. And yeah, I've got a few places I have to get to with these. But for the time being, yeah, I did remove the arena and I replaced it with the shop. I moved the shop module up here, actually. I lied, the shop module is not down there, it's up here. And it's connected to all of this cargo, as you can see. And the idea is this is your shop warehouse. This is where you manage your stock, and you make sure that you've got the right things, and you can actually witness your shop filling up. These are not built for a main, for like major supplies. You do not want to use this as a major trade node, but you can turn it into a shop if people want to stop by and buy things or sell things. So, because if you have a look here, I've got my Atlas Surge Guard over there, and I've got one, and I got another one on, I think it's on the opposite side. If we look at the map really quick. Where are we? A bit of lag. But yeah, no, I've got 1, 2, Atlas Gate Surge Guard. Okay, so this is the third one. So I've got 1 here, 1 here, and 1 over here. And that's the Surge Guard in the center. So there's 3 spots here, and they're all linked up accordingly to wherever I send them. And that's sort of the idea. The idea will be to have them all link up to a particular area, and then it's a short trip between them. And it also gives me use to actually have, I guess, a good use for the little dropships, since you can use those to quickly get between the different nodes. And yeah, so quickly though, I'm going to get out of the core if it's going to let me, the build block, awesome. And I'm going to show you guys how I've set it so that if you spawn this station in, or if I spawn this station in, or if one of my faction members spawns this station in, it isn't a real hassle to get the elevator set up and working, because the elevator is very important, and not every floor is accessible via teleportation, because that's just not fun. There's not a lot of roleplay in that. So easy thing is, if you hadn't watched what I just did there, I walked down a bit of an access tunnel, which is just opposite the shop door, or rather adjacent the shop door. You take this little access tunnel around the corner here, and you fall into this little like pit here. And as you can see, you got the color-coded wireless modules, which hooks you up to the appropriate set of logic to tell the gate where to go. Now, the first thing you want to do, without falling down the shaft, you need to press this button here, and that'll call the elevator up, because we need to get out the elevator since it has the wireless modules on it. We'll wait for it to reach the top. It's taking its time. It's a shame you can't make rails faster. I know you can double the speed, but not anymore. So as you can see, red goes to red. So you want to go red, and you want to connect that to red. I'll wait for the message. I'm getting a little bit of lag. There we go. I'm going to take the blue, hook that up to the blue. Now you might be wondering, where are the rest? Well, the rest are on the other side, around the corner here, and you've got the yellow, hooked up the yellow to the yellow. Hook that up to the yellow. And we'll jump around the other side here, and we'll hook up the green to the green. I'm getting a little bit of lag again. I am trying to upload a video while I do this, which probably isn't the best idea, but I live in Australia, and Australia's internet is terrible, as most of my viewers who live in Australia will agree. Yes, so I just plug that in there. All of the logic is input there, so what I can do now is I can leave the access hatch, or the access tunnel rather. I turn around the corner. I might put a door there, but I don't necessarily need one. But I'll turn around and I'll step into the elevator. Another thing you'll notice is that door was closed a moment ago. I have made the doors auto open and close, just to make things a little easier for you. Anyway, we'll turn around the corner here, and let's go to the next floor down. And there you go. As you can see, it's set up and ready to go. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm stuck in the elevator. I shouldn't have done this with lag, guys. Oh no, I made a mistake. Let's just stick a gravity block right here. Maybe later I can set it up so it automatically enters you into gravity when you enter in and exits you. So the other thing I want to do with this elevator is I want to make it so that while it's in transit between the two locations, I'm going to put some display modules here so you know if it's in transit and you know whether it's currently at a location. So it'll go, if it lands here, then you'll know it's at the peak, and you'll be able to see that elevator currently at peak. But for some strange reason, playing in private mode, and I haven't tested this on the server, but I'd expect to have the same kind of trouble. For some reason, I'm having this issue with display modules where if I'm playing around with a display module, it just randomly decides to not work for me. So I don't know whether that's an issue with the game or it's an issue with my install. Either or, it's not fun, and it makes it a little unplayable if I stick down a display module and it just crashes my game and I lose the last 10 minutes or whatever since I lost it a server reset. So trying to call this elevator. Is it coming? Is it? Oh, yeah, it's coming. I'm just being impatient. This is why I need this display, so you can see the elevator coming, and you'll be able to know. Like, I don't actually have to shut that. I probably shouldn't shut that. I just have to step in here. I'm going to actually sit, if it's going to let me sit. It's a real shame that I can't pause and upload. If somebody in my audience knows how to pause and upload, please let me know. I'm very new to YouTube. As you guys know, I haven't been on here very long, and I'd really like to know how I do that. Maybe I wasn't pressing the right button. But yeah, if I've sort of figured out how to do multiple at a time. So we're going to go down to the next floor here. So for the time being, especially on a server, my recommendation is to put gravity in your elevator and gravity on the exit of your elevator. Something I did forget to do because it just makes life a little bit easier if you are in an elevator and it gets a bit of lag. It saves you from falling at the base of the elevator. And so for example, I'm going to just stick a bit of gravity. Actually, not there. We're going to stick it there. I'm going to slap a gravity block right there. And I'm going to pick up that girder that I just stole. Where is that girder gone? I mean, is it a girder? Or was it? Oh no, it was gray standard armor. I think I just took. Yeah, that's right. It was gray standard armor. So let's throw that back down. No. It was dark gray. Jeez. I'm blind. Okay, we'll throw down that dark gray that I just took. There we go. So yeah, it's always a good idea to have gravity on the exit of any elevators you put down, especially on a server, because if you fall, if you enter the gravity of an elevator, which we're gonna do that right now, we're gonna throw down some gravity right here, just to make life a little bit easy for the rest of us. And I don't want that hooked up to anything, please. Thank you. So yeah, just makes life a little bit easier. If you happen to be on a server and playing as a little bit of lag, you don't want to be slipping through the gap, and suddenly now that you're at the bottom of your shaft, or you're at the top of your where you're supposed to go. So let's Okay. Let's just I'll make sure I'm aligned to this, actually. Yeah, so let me get back into gravity. There we go. So let's go down another floor. Go to the next thing I've changed, which is what was a kind of like a preparation room for the combat arena. I've changed into a small med bay with some displays for you to check on some vital signs. I'm not playing with the displays right now because they're a bit temperamental, like I just said. But a little medical bed, and there's your undetonator right there, and a little blood bag. I can't remember who I first saw on YouTube do that blood bag, but I have to thank him for it because it's an awesome idea. A nice little view out the side. And if we go down one more level, which I think is this button, which I think I'm still in gravity for that. And here we are. Now we're in the factory. So this is your mass factory. Obviously, it's for mass production. You got a small factory up on the top like you've already seen, and this is your major factory with a bit of ice and oil or something. I don't know. Decorative. Press this button. It closes the blast shields so you don't have to look at it if you don't want. If you're doing some experiment, you don't want people flying past and seeing. I just noticed I left a build block out there. That's going to be in each of them. I can remember to do that. So out here is obviously the airlock, just to go to another dock that we have. It's a quick and easy dock if you have a miner that's set up specifically for that purpose. So I'm gonna already on this level. So we're gonna go back up to the secondary level so I can exit the station. And I think I'm gonna call that a show. I guess that's it. So that open. I'm gonna get into the gravity of the station, not the gravity of my elevator. And I'm gonna quickly get in that build block, and we're gonna remove that other build block because I just don't like random build blocks around the place. I know it's helpful, but I do prefer to have one build block per station. It just kind of makes sense to me. It's kind of like the station's core. Unless, obviously, there's another purpose, because obviously I've got that room up there which has all the build blocks in it. So yeah, I've done a few small changes. These lights are supposed to be blinking. I don't know why they're not. I'm going to have to look into that. So is that light there. I might just have to start the sequence for the logic. So I kept this turret on there because I like it, and I haven't had a really good chance to use it on anything else. But yeah, this is the new Atlas Commerce Access Gate for commerce and or trade, and trade, because I think that word pretty much means the same thing. So let's say commerce and travel. Anyway, this has been Surge. If you like this video, leave a like in the and if you dislike this video, leave a dislike, because yeah, that's an option. And yeah, if you have any comments, you have any suggestions, you want to see anything else, if you'd like to see anything specific in any videos I put out, please leave them in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, because I'm more than happy to take all your subscriptions. Give me all those subscriptions. And this has been Surge with another Atlas quest. I don't know. No, let's just say this is a station showcase. Yeah, this is a station showcase. This is the Access Gate Mark II, whatever. Either way, this has been Surge, and yeah, signing out.